We have a really unique partnership with both Morgan State University and the Chesapeake Conservancy. Morgan State University being a higher education institution in the state of Maryland, a historical Black university, and the Chesapeake Conservancy being a very important nonprofit to the Chesapeake Bay watershed. And the partnership is really a win-win-win situation. It's a win for the students from Morgan State because they get training in geospatial information systems to help them reach their degree and get practical application toward the work they'll be doing after they graduate. And for the Chesapeake Conservancy, their input into the partnership is to provide those students with specific training in geospatial information systems because the Chesapeake Conservancy has a particular core competency in that area. They provide a lot of work around the watershed to help stem pollution to the Chesapeake Bay, and that involves mapping work to determine where the most effective restoration areas might be. So that type of skill is perfect to help train these students from Morgan State. And Charles County benefits by having the students and the Chesapeake Conservancy work on a project that's really important to us, and that is making sure we all achieve our diversity, equity, justice, and inclusion goals in the products and the services that we provide our citizens.
Hi, my name is Emily Mills. I am a Geospatial Technology Manager at the Chesapeake Conservancy. At the Chesapeake Conservancy, we are committed to the values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. And we really believe that all people should have access to green spaces that provide both safe recreation opportunities and help keep our people and our ecosystems healthy. So with that said, we're very happy to partner with Charles County Department of Recreation, Parks, and Tourism to help use geographic information systems to inform and help them update their 5-year land preservation, recreation, and parks plan. I've had the privilege of working with both Nicholas Wright and Khadijah Smith, our 2 Morgan State University interns on this project, and they have helped us really dive into some key topic areas that the county is focused on and prioritizing for their plan update. And our goal is to use GIS to help map areas of interest for the county in terms of topics such as flooding and climate resiliency, improving green spaces. We want to make sure that all county residents have access to things like green spaces, recreation facilities, pools, cooling spaces, and tree canopy in urban areas.
My name is Khadijah Smith, and I'm a graduate student at Morgan State University. I am in the City and Regional Planning program. The GIS internship was of great interest to me because during my studies in the semester, I worked as a research assistant working on another project, and I had to read a lot of articles, and I learned about GIS, the real world application. So I figured that if I was able to get this internship, I would be able to gain more experience with that application and to help cities to plan for a better future. What I learned about Charles County is that Charles County has a lot of data sets that we were able to use in identifying a problem where we could help the county seek a solution to. And one of those problems was flooding. And with that, the county had a data layer where they had the specific locations for the areas that had draining problems. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to quantify the land features that are in those specific flooding areas and see if those features, whether they may be missing or maybe there may be too much of those features, could that be a contributing factor to the flooding? This internship has been a great experience, and with the data sets that they shared with us, I was able to learn how to analyze certain features, and I was able to quantify the land features. I hope that Charles County can use that data and implement it in their future recommendations or guidelines for the Land Preservation, Parks, and Recreation Plan.
My name is Nicholas Wright. I'm a junior at Morgan State University. This opportunity working with the Charles County government was an interest to me because I'm a Marylander, born and raised here, and I'm also a Navy veteran. So I've always had a love for aquatics and wildlife, and this opportunity allowed me to excel and work in both of those. While working with the Chesapeake Conservancy, I learned about Charles County that they have an extremely robust wildlife preservation here, and I love to see how active they are on just maintaining it and creating new opportunities and spaces for the community. So the research that I conducted was geospatial research, and what I learned from working with it was all the different resources available and all the different data sets to further help the work that we do here.
So this really extends our partnership with the Chesapeake Conservancy because they were particularly instrumental in the last couple of years, several years really, in the National Marine Sanctuary designation for Mallows Bay, one of the jewels of the state of Maryland, and it's right here in our own backyard in Charles County. And the designation helps us preserve that gem for today and generations into the future. So this is just one more thing, one more way in which we can partner with the nonprofit community and our academic institutions throughout the state to better the quality of life for our citizens in Charles County.
Do you want to make positive contributions in your Charles County community but aren't sure where to start? Join one of Charles County's boards, commissions, or committees to see current vacancies and submit an application. Visit www.charlescountymd.gov and follow the boards and commissions links. Stepping up to serve the Charles County community will allow you to shape the county's present and future.
Applying for jobs with Charles County government is now easier and more efficient. Visit www.charlescountymd.gov for more information.
My name is Bill Kilinski. I'm president of the Charles County Watermen's Association, born and raised here on Cobb Island, Maryland, lifelong waterman, and now my energy and my business is wrapped around the oyster fishery here in Charles County, here in Cobb Island area in the Wicomico River. And the Wicomico River is really the only place left that's somewhat viable as far as where oysters grow and oysters thrive, that is kind of surrounded around Charles County. We do have an oyster fishery in the Potomac River, but several years ago when we had all that rain and all that runoff, a lot of the oysters died. Oysters can't tolerate too much of fresh water. So going back to the Wicomico, we've had a program in place working with the Department of Natural Resources for years, many years. It's restocking, it's replanting the Wicomico River. With the low salinity that has taken place through the years, perhaps through climate change and such, oysters aren't reproducing like they used to many, many years ago. If we go back in this area, in the Cobb Island area back in the 50s and 60s, this river, the Wicomico River, produced more oysters and harvested more oysters than the entire bay is harvested now through the whole total fisheries in the Chesapeake Bay. I guess like I was saying, we have very low recruitment, natural recruitment amongst the oyster fishery here in the Wicomico. So science, through its evolution, has manipulated the oyster through hatcheries. Horn Point Hatchery, located in Cambridge, has came a long ways as far as producing larvae in a laboratory setting that's distributed through people through the Chesapeake Bay. So it starts with larvae that's introduced into a tank, a fairly big size tank where there's shell. There's cleaned, aged shell that's in this tank. From there, the larvae is introduced into it. It normally takes a week or two for the larvae to swim around to attach to these shells. And then the shells are lifted out of this tank and transplanted into the rivers. We have a pretty expensive license fee every year to renew to be able to go out and harvest oysters. A portion of that money is actually thrown back into a pot that's managed through the Department of Natural Resources that we're able to replant and restock oysters in our areas. There's 13 or 14 counties throughout the state of Maryland that are able to be involved in this program. So during the summertime, we restock, replant baby oysters. Today, actually, I want to say it's close to 5 million oysters that are going to be planted. Projected for this year in the Wicomico is over 40 million baby oysters that we're kind of hoping to plant this summer. Again, that's all based on larvae, based on water conditions, water quality. But it's laboratory, it's science. This is how we've evolved through the years to try to help the natural recruitment, because here in our area, we don't have that natural recruitment like they have in the lower bay as far as the oysters reproducing by themselves. Everybody loves oysters, and we grow a fairly good tasting oyster in this environment around here, with the water being like it is. It provides work for watermen. It provides clean water for the Chesapeake Bay. The benefits of this are just enormous. Science tells us between 40 and 50 gallons a day are filtered from nutrients or from bad stuff that's in the water, because that's normally what an oyster feeds off of, as far as nutrients and just different elements and stuff that are in the water. So it'll filtrate the water as far as providing that benefit, and also it benefits us to be able to go harvest these oysters and catch these oysters and provide a food source for customers, for people. So yes, I mean, oysters are very important to the bay.